See, alright, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yehoshai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. We see that when apostles and elders agree, most on the well, teachers or apostles in the truth, and we say salutation. Solely, I come and say, put you in truth, we say, din and the out. Constantly in season of season, we say, Shalom, once again, going into a video here, and that's basically touching upon famines. I was watching a brother video this morning, and he was basically, from the campaign, he was basically going into the struggles that farmers facing, right? And or one of the main articles that he brought out, right? Now when you go and type in the struggle that farmers are facing right now worldwide, you would see different cases all around the world. Like this one here is Argentina, and there's other ones in California, it ones in many other places where farmers are facing like struggles with the crops. You also have where the force and plenty of these governments are burning down farms, making them throw out products on the side of the roads and so forth. That why when you go into the groceries now, you once used to see certain products, but now we're not seeing it no more. Or if you do see it, it's like the price is so high because there's a demand for the product, but the quantity low. Quantity and the quality low. Because now, if you watch the ingredients that is being used and the things that are making is things that are contaminated, like the things that they're using, is stuff that they would never use before. Because products worldwide is getting scarce. So when you look up the word famine, it means the scarcity of something. And especially one of the things that the Lord said would happen is famines, which is the scarcity of food. Things that you would get, right? So let me just bring forward the scripture here. This is Matthew chapter 24. I'll start from verse 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." So it say what? And there shall be famines. So you already see one of the prophecies is what famines, and we see in the droughts, we see in the struggle that these farmers get into to let the crops come out. Even to this article here, are we nearing another farm crisis? Right? So let's just go into that one. Say, are we nearing another farm crisis? It say, with the current farm bill expiring in 2023, rising inflation and global supply chain issues the agriculture industry is facing, are we nearing a farm crisis like we saw in the 80s, or perhaps another too big to fail scenario we saw in 2008? Whether another crisis is coming or not, farmers are facing obstacles that lenders can help them overcome. Now we know what is going to take place. These prophecies must happen, and one of the prophecies, the famine, is scarcity of that food, right? And I mentioned 2008 because also you remember a market crash, economy crash. You're seeing all these things happening. They're talking about inflation and so forth. Recently, the banks have to be bailed out. So we're seeing that crash, that global scale crash that is going to take place. And food is going to be a part of it. Because again, the word famine just means the scarcity of something. And one of the major things that you all love what the people love is what? Food. And they know if they control our food, they control our food. You know it is. You know what men going to do just to get a piece of bread. You understand? Hey, a man go wipe out a whole family to get their food that they have. That is what we go and see. But also remember, verse 8 of the scripture said what? Yeah. I'll also take a pause. So going back to as I said, verse 8, it says all these are the beginning of sorrows. So all these is just the beginning, because even when you read this article, it says rising inflation and a global supply chain issues the agriculture industry is facing. It say, are we nearing a farm crisis like we saw in the 80s, or perhaps another too big to fail scenario we saw in 2008? So all these is just the beginning of sorrows. You see how much things that are mentioned in here that could take place. Recession, inflation, right? All these other things that could happen. But also remember, all these are what the beginning of sorrows, and as they projected, if our next crash going to happen, it's going to be worse than the last. Now we know all these things that are mentioned to happen. These things are going to take place, especially the world war famine. As I said, I mentioned before I continue. So I was watching this video here. Right. So look at brother video here that I was watching this morning. As you see, California's farmers struggle with deepening flood waters, and we now reading in what? We now reading and we now get this one here with Argentina. Say farmers struggle in Argentina as drought withers their crops. Now even on the island here, which I'm from, things are rising due to the fact that certain stuff not growing and certain things hard to get. Certain things hard to get. These are the times that we're coming in too, right? So let me just jump to. I'm gonna jump down this scripture here. It says this is Mark chapter 13 verse 8. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles." There shall be famine and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. So again, same thing like what we read in Matthew, but as you can see, the Lord warned us about these things. Things are going to happen, farms and so forth. You're not going to remain at a good estate that you think you can wake up in the morning and you can get a piece of bread. That they could wake up in the morning and go in a grocery and buy rice, that they could go and buy a cake. All those things going to change soon, because with the scarcity they start to ration out, and all these things you could see where like, hey, you want food, come take this trip, come into the FEMA camp, come and do this, all this. You seen what the road it will lead on to. But don't feel everything in a good state. Just because you waking up and you can buy something doesn't mean everything good. There are stuff that happen in the background that's going to affect you soon. And with these things happening here, it affecting these places. And soon it will be, you'll get that chain effect. You understand? You will get that chain effect. As you can see here, see what Britain's farmers battered by Brexit fallout and rising costs, says union. So you're seeing what it is going to take place. And again, famine is a serious thing. Serious thing. Because when you go and look up the effects of what going to take place, this is 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 5. It said, "Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world." Matter of fact, let me go up a little bit. But let me start from verse 4. It says, "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, and death, and destruction." Now, even when you go back to like the Lord said, you know what, He will feed his servants. His servants will be fed. That's roughly paraphrasing, and that is where our faith will be. We will have faith in the Lord that wherever it is coming, we have faith in the Lord that we will be fed. He will quench our thirst. He will be there for us. But we know certain things that we have to go through, but we have to have our faith in the Lord. You say, but for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And that is straight to the point. The Lord said He could bring these plagues upon the world: the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And these is things that we can't get away from. This is what he said he gonna bring to this place. So you feel this, and Christianity they tell you that these things might never happen, that you can pray against and so forth. But Lord say he gonna bring these things upon the world, and famine being one of them. Again, ask yourself that when you wake up in the morning, and a child, if you have children, asking him, saying, "Daddy, I want something to eat. I'm starving." How it is he gonna feel? So imagine the kind of pain that's going to take place in that day. And these are the things that the Lord say he could bring. You understand? So he said, "Behold, said the Lord, I'll bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." Right? And we know, again, you see is especially Jake. You see how they be on the internet with food. They go in a restaurant, they post up a picture. They put it all over the internet. I'm eating in this restaurant here. Look at the food I'm eating. That is not what they're going to put. What they're going to post on the internet is dead body soon. That's going to die from starvation. Because scripture said some for famine, some for the sword, and so on. Right? It's verse 6, it says, "For wickedness has had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." So judgment that take place for the wicked works. And you all being part of that, you all have to go through the things that the Lord said here. That way he said the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Where you feel you being unfaithful, you're what the Lord say, you're going to face the things that the Lord say you're going to send. Right? So jumping on a little bit, this is 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 49. It says, "I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death." So going into this to show you that weight is the Lord going and send upon you. It says to waste your houses with these things. It says widowhood, poverty, because again, no work, no money. And we know that chip going to be there. It's a famine. Again, watch what is going on here. The rising cost of food, inflation, crops being destroyed, the boiling climate change. So it's a famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with death and destruction. And that is just straight to the point. So yes, you're going to go through famines. And there's a major thing as well. There's a reason why I mentioned all over the place. The scarce, again, the word famine means the scarcity of something. The scarcity of food. So it wouldn't have no more posting up no more posting up pictures on the internet, thinking everything good, everything nice. You understand? So these are the things that happen all around the world right now. The things that I mentioned to come. Famines. Right? So with that we give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. We say that when apostles and elders agreements and reward our teachers or apostles in the truth. And we say salutations, so I can say push on to say din and the out. In our consulting season we say Shalom.